The alarm blared at exactly 5:30 a.m., piercing through the silence of my cramped one-bedroom apartment. I groaned, my body stiff from another restless night. My back ached from sleeping on a mattress that had lost its shape months ago, but I hadn't dared to replace it. There was always something more important, something my family needed that took priority over my comfort. With a deep sigh, I sat up, rubbing my tired eyes. I reached for my phone on the nightstand, the screen illuminating my weary face as I checked my messages. As expected, my family's group chat was already active. Mom, son, good morning. We are out of groceries again. Can you send something today? Dad, also, the electricity bill is due. The last time we paid late, they almost cut us off. Angela, my younger sister. Hey, big bro. My school books still haven't been bought. You know I can't start my semester without them. Ethan, my older brother. Bro, I need some cash. Things have been tight. I've been looking for a job, but you know how tough it is. That I read the messages, feeling a familiar pressure in my chest. Every single day, it was the same routine. My paycheck barely lasted the month, and before I could even consider saving, my family had already claimed every dollar. Still, I never hesitated. I had grown up believing it was my responsibility to take care of them. My parents had sacrificed a lot for me and my siblings. My father worked long hours in a factory before an accident left him unable to do heavy labor. My mother had done her best to keep us afloat, but things were always tight. So when I graduated and secured a stable job, I vowed to give them the life they deserved. That I quickly transferred $200 to my mother for groceries, $150 for the electricity bill, and another $100 to my sister for her books. I hesitated at Ethan's request. My older brother had never held a steady job, always jumping from one excuse to another. But if I didn't send him something, I knew he would call me repeatedly until I caved. Me, I'll send you $50. That's all I can spare right now. The response was instant. Ethan, that's it? Come on, bro. You know I need more than that. That I clenched my jaw, resisting the urge to snap. Instead, I took a deep breath and ignored the message. I already knew what would happen. He would call our mom. Complain that I was being unfair, and she would guilt-trip me into sending more. It had happened too many times before. After getting dressed in my worn-out work clothes, I grabbed my bag and headed out. The bus ride to work was long and crowded, and by the time I got to the office, I was already drained. My boss barely acknowledged my presence as I walked in, and I went straight to my desk, opening my laptop to start the day's work. That I worked in finance, a stable but exhausting job. I spent my days analyzing reports, attending meetings, and responding to emails, all while knowing that most of my earnings wouldn't even benefit me. While my colleagues discussed weekend plans and vacations, I kept quiet. I had nothing contribute. During my lunch break, I sat alone in the cafeteria, scrolling through my banking app. My heart sank when I saw my balance. I had barely anything left. Rent was due in a few days, and I had just sent out most of my money to my family. Again, just as I was about to put my phone away, a message popped up from a friend. Caleb, hey, man. We haven't seen you in a while. You good? I sighed. Caleb and I had been close in college, but ever since I started supporting my family, I had distanced myself. I couldn't afford to go out, and even if I could, I was too exhausted to enjoy it. Me, yeah, just been busy with work. Caleb, busy or just buried in responsibilities? You can't keep doing this, bro. You need a life too. That I stared at the message for a long time. Was he right? I had never stopped to think about what I wanted. My entire life revolved around making sure my family was okay. I rarely bought anything for myself, never treated myself to a nice meal, and had completely given up on the idea of dating. I kept telling myself it was temporary, that eventually, things would get better, and my family wouldn't need me as much, but deep down, I knew that wasn't true. They had grown dependent on me. They knew I wouldn't say no, and they took full advantage of it. Still, I pushed those thoughts away. They were my family. They wouldn't take advantage of me, right? But the truth was about to hit me harder than I ever expected. and it all started with a single photo. It was a Wednesday evening when my world started to crack. I had just gotten home after another grueling day at work, my feet aching as I kicked off my shoes. My apartment was dark, silent, so different from the home I had left behind when I moved out. Back then, my parents' house had always been filled with noise, laughter, and warmth. Now, my life was reduced to solitude, my only companions being the endless bills and responsibilities I had taken on. I slumped onto my worn-out couch and pulled out my phone, absently scrolling through social media as I tried to unwind. It was a habit, a way to escape the exhaustion for a little while. But then, I saw it. A single photo. It was a picture of my younger sister, Angela, standing on a white sandy beach, the clear blue ocean stretching behind her. She was wearing a sundress, sunglasses perched on her head, her arms outstretched as if embracing the world. Her caption read, "Paradise looks good on me." I frowned, my brain struggling to process what I was seeing. My sister? On a beach? I clicked on her profile and scrolled further. More pictures popped up, photos of my parents, my older brother Ethan, and even my aunt and 2 cousins. They were smiling, sipping drinks from coconuts, lounging in hammocks, and taking selfies in what looked like a high-end resort. The hashtag beneath the pictures made my blood run cold. Hashtag family vacation, hashtag living our best life, hashtag grateful. I sat frozen, my heart pounding. My breathing slowed as realization crashed over me like a tidal wave. A family vacation. They had gone on a luxurious vacation, while I had been working myself to exhaustion, sending them money every month, skipping meals to make sure they had everything they needed. While I had been breaking my back to provide, they had been laughing under the sun, drinking cocktails, and posing for photos like life was perfect. I scrolled through the comments, my hands shaking. "Aunt Grace, looks amazing. I didn't know you guys were traveling." "Angela, my sister, it was last minute. We just needed a break. We deserved it." "Friend from high school, wow, how did you afford this? I thought things were tough for your family." "Ethan, my brother, we made it work. Life's too short not to enjoy." "Made it work?" A bitter laugh escaped my lips. "They made it work?" "No. I made it work. I had paid for their luxury, their fun, their happiness, without even knowing it." My stomach twisted with betrayal. I felt sick, my head spinning as I stared at the screen, my mind racing back to every conversation I had with them over the past year. The nights my mother had called me crying, saying they were struggling to buy food. The mornings when my father had told me they were drowning in bills. The countless times my sister had begged for money for urgent school expenses. And my brother, Ethan, who constantly told me he couldn't find a job. Ethan, who had made me feel guilty every time I hesitated to send him money. Ethan, who was now grinning in a photo, holding a glass of champagne like he was celebrating a promotion he never worked for. I clenched my fists. How long had they been planning this? How much of my hard-earned money had they funneled into this vacation while I lived paycheck to paycheck, barely affording rent, eating instant noodles because I couldn't afford anything else? I scrolled deeper, looking for any clues. Then I found it. A comment from one of my sister's friends. "That cruise was amazing. I still can't believe we got the premium package. Your family really knows how to vacation in style." I had been starving myself to make sure my family was okay, and they had gone on a luxury cruise. Something inside me snapped. For the first time in my life, I wasn't just exhausted. I wasn't just frustrated. I was furious. All this time, I had believed I was doing my duty. I had convinced myself that sacrificing my happiness for my family was the right thing to do. But this? This wasn't just unfair. This was betrayal. My phone buzzed, snapping me out of my rage. A message from my mother. "Mom, son, we just got back home. Can you send some money for groceries tomorrow?" I stared at the message, my blood boiling. They had just returned from their vacation, a vacation they had used my money for, and the first thing they thought to do was ask me for more. I took a deep breath, my pulse hammering in my ears. No. Not this time. Something had to change. And I was about to make sure of it. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, my mind replaying every moment of the past year. Every sacrifice. Every dollar cent. Every lie my family had fed me. It all replayed like a cruel movie, each scene more gut-wrenching than the last. At some point, my anger turned into something deeper, something colder. Resolve. Enough was enough. By morning, I had made my decision. I wasn't going to be silent anymore. I picked up my phone and dialed my mother's number. The call barely rang twice before she answered, her voice cheerful. "My son. Good morning. I was just about to message you. Where did you go?" I cut her off, my voice flat. A pause. "What do you mean?" I closed my eyes, forcing myself to stay calm. "The vacation, Mom. The cruise. The resort. Where did you go? And don't lie to me." I saw the pictures. Silence. For the first time in years, my mother was at a loss for words. Then, her tone shifted, turning defensive. "It wasn't a big deal, son. Just a little getaway. We needed it after all the stress." "A little getaway?" I let out a bitter laugh. "Mom, I've been sending you money every single month. I skipped meals, avoided going out, wore the same clothes for years, all to make sure you were okay. And you used my money for a vacation?" Her sigh was heavy, but not with guilt. With annoyance. "Listen, son, we didn't tell you because we knew you'd overreact. But you don't understand. We deserved this break. You deserved it." My voice rose. "And what about me? What do I deserve? I've been working my ass off while you were sipping cocktails on a beach. You told me you had no money for groceries, no money for school books, no money for rent, so where the hell did you find money for a luxury cruise?" "We saved a little here and there." "No, I saved. I was the one sending the money." Another long silence. Then, she did what she always did. She turned it around on me. "So what, son? Are you saying you regret helping your family? Is money more important to you than us?" I gritted my teeth. "That's not what this is about, and you know it. You're being dramatic, honey. Families support each other. It's what we do. Do you think rich people don't take care of their parents?" I clenched my fist so tightly my nails dug into my palm. "Rich people have enough to take care of themselves too. I don't. I'm barely surviving, Mom. And you don't even care." I heard her sigh again, but this time, there was something else in it. Guilt? No. Annoyance. "Okay, son. If it's such a big deal, we won't go again. Happy now?" I laughed, an ugly, humorless sound. "Oh, I'm more than happy. Because from today, I'm done." "What do you mean, done?" "I mean I'm not sending you another damn cent. You can figure things out yourselves. Just like I have to." Her voice shot up. "You can't be serious. We rely on you." "That's the problem," I said coldly. "You rely on me, but you don't respect me. You lied to me. You used me. And now, I'm done being your personal bank. Son, don't do this. I already did." And with that, I hung up. Within minutes, my phone erupted with messages. "Mom, I can't believe you're doing this to your family. After everything we did for you. Dad, I thought you were better than this. You're abandoning us. Angela, are you really punishing us over a little vacation? Ethan, wow. You're just like those selfish people who forget their family when they make a little money. I let the messages pile up. I didn't respond. For the first time in years, I felt free. The weight that had been crushing me for so long was finally lifting. It hurt, yes. Cutting off my family wasn't easy. But neither was being taken advantage of. I wasn't their ATM anymore. I wasn't their safety net. I was finally living for myself. And it felt damn good.